Hello, my folks who are done writing their final draft of their myth. The very last thing you should do, just to make sure you have done everything you can to meet these standards on this assignment, is give yourself a self-assessment, meaning you grade your own self, because I'm grading you, but I want you to reflect on your own work. What I want you to do after you have finished your first draft, you finished your final draft, you're done with your peer editing, you got to look at your own work. So you can find this in two places. I'm going to go to my first period homepage or whatever class you're in. You can, of course, find it in the assignments button, but you can also find it on whatever day of the week. So I'm making this video on Monday, so I'm going to click on the Monday button. Here's our whole checklist. You've accomplished so much. Bam! I submitted my final draft. Last thing I got to do, self-assessment. Click on self-assessment. That's going to open up one of these Google Cloud assignments, just like you did the graphic organizer, just like you did the plot diagram, just like you did the peer review. Go ahead and click on the blue link right there to open up your self-assessment. Awesome. So there's our big fat rubric. Let's read the instructions before we get started. The instructions say, read the original myth rubric in detail. Use the highlighter tool and highlight where you are on the rubric for every scoring criteria. This is the scoring criteria. I've kind of broken it up into 3 or 4 pieces. So the first part of the score is on your ideas. Did you include natural phenomena and a moral? The second scoring criteria is really more about your language. Did you describe characters and did you use symbolism? The third is about plot structure. Did you follow that plot diagram? Did you follow that roller coaster? Do you have an exposition, rising action, climax, falling action, and finally a resolution? And then you guys might remember that I added this standard because you all did such a good job here. That's on the writing process. Did you plan? Did you write? Did you edit and revise? So let's go to the top. I'm pretending like I'm a student and I'm looking at my own myth. I'm going to give myself a grade. I'm going to grab the highlighter tool up here. You see it in the toolbar up here. It looks kind of like a highlighter. The color I like to use is yellow when I highlight because it's really bright and easy to see. So I'm going to select the yellow highlighter. Now I'm going to read the criteria. I might start with meeting standard right here because that's at least my goal. I want to meet the standard. And I'm going to ask myself, does my myth explain a natural phenomenon and teach a lesson? Now, I might think, yeah, it does, but honestly, I cleverly taught that lesson. It was not basic, it was pretty advanced. So I'm actually going to highlight that I give myself a 4. So I'm going to go back to that highlighter. So I'm going to say I cleverly taught a lesson, but you know what? My natural phenomenon wasn't that clever. So I'm going to highlight that part and give myself a 3. Folks, do you notice how I gave myself a 4 on one part of the rubric, but a 3 on the other? You can do that. And then you'll get the average of those two scores. Let's do it again for this second paragraph. My myth skillfully uses story elements to engage the reader and lead to a satisfying resolution. I might read that and go, you know what? I did it, but was it skillful? I'm going to go read the 3. My myth uses story elements to hook the reader and create a satisfying resolution. I'm going to say yes, my myth did that. So I would go up and highlight yellow. Now, maybe again, I break that up into different categories. That's fine, but you're going to do the same highlighting for each component of the rubric. Then you're going to scroll down below, give yourself an overall score for each section based on your own feedback up above. Please let me know if you have questions. Happy self-assessment.